Hello, Taurus. This is your reading for the week of October 27th. So as I pull the first three cards, what I get for you this week is structure, kindness, and say yes. So I'm going to explain that. As I was asking Spirit for guidance on what was going to be good for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a lot of Taurus in your chart, I get the structure card as the first card, and that one is basically saying, pay attention, Taurus, to where the structures that you have built for your life have become constrictive, or where you're kind of looking around at the structure you created that suited you very well for a while, and now you're going, nah, is that all there is? Or this is kind of boring. And so what I'm looking at as I say that is I'm also hearing that remember that your that structures mirror structures. Okay, so what they're saying is the structure that you've created in your life is actually a mirror representation of aspects of yourself that you have owned as true about you. So character traits that you either like or don't like, doesn't really matter. It's all of them. And it might be a structure that you've created to help mitigate some qualities in yourself that you don't like. It might be, for example, a sense of not having belonged as a kid, or feeling like your place was only relevant if you were doing something, performing a function, getting something done for somebody. And so now you've grown into a structure of being a caretaker as opposed to a caregiver. A caretaker as in you can't help but to take care. You might have become the rescuer or the hero, or somebody who has to, right? Step in and do something for somebody else. So healing professions, counseling, any kind of service industry where it's really kind of emotion and humanitarian support based. I would say that. But it doesn't have to be that. It could be a structure of business where you are in a situation where you're supporting a company that is hiring 200 people, and you're going to stay in that structure because you don't want those 200 people to have to find jobs elsewhere. It could be something like that. But what you're being asked to look at is what part of the structure that you have outgrown or that you're no longer delighted with, what does that say about who you were within that? What did that satisfy for you, and what is no longer satisfying? Because that means there are parts of that structure, parts of yourself that were related to that structure that you have outgrown, that have become uncomfortable, that are no longer in alignment with a deeper truth or a new understanding that you have about yourself or the world or other people. Okay? You're asked to stay in a state of kindness, which really, it carries a quality of gentleness, empathy, gracious consideration, and humaneness. It may be expressed in an attitude of sympathy, amiability, benevolence, or tenderness. Each time you have the choice to choose to be right or kind, choose kind. So how does that fit in with the structure? Well, for me, it's if you're dismantling a structure, be kind about it. But it also, for me, for you, Taurus, it's be kind to yourself, because you have a tendency to not always consider your feelings and things. You do have a tendency to want to take care of other people in a very practical, tangible kind of way, and that can really lead you into the overgiving sometimes. What you're being asked in this is check into that in structure, check into your structure. And when you're deciding how you want to readjust this structure, remember, please, only say yes to the things that feel good. Say yes to the things that resonate with a sense of expansion, peace, harmony, excitement, positivity. And not positivity from the point of view, oh, I get to be wonderful, or I get to be a hero, or I get to be this, but wonderful in terms of settling you into yourself in a way where you go, oh yeah, that feels right to the inner me. And I think many of you will know what that means. So say yes to anything. And it's not just say yes to anything that is good. This is a card that is saying to you, it's time to say yes in life where you may have been, no, it's all right, I can take care of things. How about, yes, thank you. And again, it's to anything that's benign, anything that makes you genuinely feel connected to yourself. And if it's something that you don't necessarily want in your life or to do, well, then you can say, you can take a rain check, pass it along to somebody else, and of course, never say yes to anything that feels absolutely wrong to you. Okay? So, Taurus, this is really interesting because it feels to me like this is where you get to step back and see where your personality has outgrown your structure, what it is you might need to be letting go of in order to be able to do this. And that's interesting. I get the surrender or giving up, and that's actually, excuse me, the feeling that I had when I was pulling the cards here is that the surrender part is surrendering into that central place from which you can see the structures you've built around you, see how they mirror your personality, who you were and who you are now. So there is that kind of surrendering into what is, not trying to change things until you've done that, but really letting yourself surrender into what is and notice what the structures are. Okay? That's it, Taurus. Take care.